Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the AM Report, perhaps news, the network of now. It is Wednesday, February 3rd, and this morning we're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're going to talk about updates on this COVID-19 stimulus package because apparently Democrats are not waiting for Republicans to get on board. They're moving full speed ahead and with good reason. We're going to talk about Joe Biden and his first White House interview in the White House and some of today's top headlines. All of this and more on the AM Report. Good morning, everybody. I'm Alex Marjorie. Thank you for joining the program. If you're joining on the HAPS app, website, or platform, click the award button. Let us know you're enjoying it. Or if you're watching on Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, wherever you may be watching, leave a comment. We'll bat around with each other live on air. We already have a lot of people joining this morning, so I just want to say hello. Good morning. Hello, Shivani. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. I love seeing names and faces from across the country and across the world, really. So it's good to see you all this morning. Leave us a comment during the broadcast. Let us know what you're thinking about these headlines and what's going on in the world today. Reddit user says, sup. It's good to see you. And let's jump just right into it. There's a lot to cover this morning. So Democrats are going to move to fast track the COVID-19 stimulus package without GOP support. They don't need it, and they should do this because the GOP has demonstrated that they only want unity when they want something and that they have no interest in really governing. And so their $618 billion counter proposal by the GOP is not going to cut it. Biden has projected that, and Democrats in the House and the Senate are moving forward with a process called budget reconciliation, which allows for budget items and items that are fiscal to be passed by a simple majority, which the Democrats will have now that they have Kamala Harris as their tie-breaking vote. They will have 50 votes and a tiebreaker. So the 10 GOP senators that met with Joe Biden at the White House earlier this week brought their counter proposal. They're asking for a much smaller amount. It's becoming very clear that their proposal is just not going to cut it, and that doesn't mean we're not interested in unity. Your proposal is just bad, according to let's look at the actions more than the words. This is what the House Democrats and Senate Democrats have moved forward with. And hashtag no Republicans is trending on Twitter right now because Republicans, there was a vote on this last night in the United States Senate. All 50 Senate Democrats voted to advance a budget resolution last night that would fast track the COVID-19 stimulus package through budget reconciliation. And 49, this is a typo, 49 GOP senators voted against the resolution. So 49 Senate Republicans said, we do not want you to have your $1,400 stimulus checks. We do not want local and state governments to have fiscal support and to have direct aid. And they voted against it, all of them. Only one that didn't vote against it was Pat Toomey because he was stuck in the snow. So Pat Toomey, Republican senator from Pennsylvania, didn't make it. So hashtag no Republicans is trending, and for good reason. There's not an interest in real unity, in real bipartisan governing. That includes sometimes having to come to the table even when you're in the minority. Republicans in the Senate. In COVID-19 news, we got some COVID-19 updates for you on vaccines, variants, and the death toll. So there have been 33 million vaccines administered as of today in the United States. That number needs to be more like 300 million. So we're making a dent here, but it's moving very slowly. This is February, so we're going on 2 months of having the vaccine. So it's the pace has been accelerating, but it needs to be moving much quicker. The U.S. death toll just hit 450,000, and there's new news today that this is coming from the Oxford Vaccine Group's Andrew Pollard, who said the COVID-19 vaccine may offer protection against severe diseases, even as coronavirus variants develop. So what he's saying is is that we will have variants of the coronavirus, that they will continue to evolve and mutate, but the vaccine will still prevent you from getting sick. It will not prevent you from catching it. You just aren't going to get sick. And the reason that that's significant is that while the vaccine will prevent from serious illness or death in many, many cases, it will not prevent you from passing it along to someone who may not have the vaccine and hurt them potentially, which is why this was news to me. So I'm just learning this week, really. But this is why the CDC is encouraging us to still wear our masks even if we get the vaccine. The vaccine is going to protect us, not others. So until we get herd immunity, we've got to continue to be diligent about social distancing and safe and wearing our masks. This blew my mind, and I was very, I had a second of having to be kind of upset about that. But it is what it is. And what we're learning is that it will protect us the vaccines will protect us from serious harm or death and from hospitalizations, even in the case of mutations. So that's the good news with on the vaccine front. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's get into good old Maggie Q. My House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy met with Marjorie Taylor Greene, freshman congresswoman and conspiracy theorist, last night for, quote, several hours at the Capitol with a group of House Republicans who sit on a powerful GOP steering committee, which determines sort of disciplinary actions for House members. And there's a growing pressure to punish the congresswoman for her past violent and conspiracist views. These views have included endorsing social media posts that call for the execution of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Previous views have included calling Sandy Hook and the Parkland shootings hoaxes and false flags. She has spread covert anti-Semitic views that there are Jewish space lasers that caused the California wildfires last year. On and on and on, that the Democrats are a Satan-worshipping cabal of child pedophiles. And it's so she's nuts, and her words may have been part of inciting and inciting movement that caused an insurrection at the Capitol. So all in all, very, very troubling stuff. Did we lose you guys for a minute? Are we back? So yeah, so this language that she used, Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's conspiracist and it's crazy, and it may have led to the insurrection at the Capitol. So it's very problematic. And so the House GOP steering committee met with her last night. No resolution was achieved last night, according to sources. So House Republicans are deliberating whether to punish her for her extreme comments before winning her seat, and then showing up on the House floor wearing masks that say Trump won or Stop the Steal, or censored like she's such a victim for not being able to share her fake, false lies with the American public on the floor of the United States House of Representatives. I love it when they aren't allowed to lie and they say, you're violating my First Amendment rights. So Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, who's been silent about this for a while now, and he hasn't publicly spoken about it, but there is growing pressure for him to act. And this GOP steering committee can potentially remove her from her committee assignments. Now, she's on a couple of committee assignments. A couple of the options here are: do we just remove her from her education committee assignment and not the other ones? Because particularly she's made unsavory comments about school shootings and them being fake. So she really have any business serving on a committee tasked with representing America's children. I mean, so that's that. He asked her if she would apologize last night during this meeting. She said she would not. He discussed lots of other options, including forcing her off of those committees. It's not clear that Democrats would be okay with just forcing her off of one committee. They want her to be stripped of all her committee assignments. And according to sources, McCarthy offered her a lot of options and she turned them all down. So now it's up to the steering committee to decide, and if they are not prepared to act, then House Democrats are. So House Democrats will move to pass a resolution mandating this and codifying it in law if the Republican caucus doesn't move to discipline their own member. And finally, in a little bit of Joe Biden news, this is Joe Biden yesterday talking about his swath of executive orders that he signed in his first couple of weeks of office. Here's Joe Biden talking about that. I just want to play that for you now.
I want to make it clear, there's a lot of talk, with good reason, about the number of executive orders that I have signed. I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy. What I'm doing is taking on the issues that 99% of them, that the last president of the United States, issued executive orders I thought were very counterproductive to our security, counterproductive to who we are as a country.
So that's Joe Biden saying he's not legislating. He's actually just undoing really bad policy from the Trump era. And he has a lot of bad policy, ranging from transgender individuals being banned from the military, to his border wall, to the Muslim ban, to anti-LGBTQ employment discrimination policies. It ranges, the range of actions he's taken, undoing Trump era policies, the child separation policy at the border, all of that has been really just undoing Trump. And he's really undone the majority of Trump's era of his legacy with the stroke of a pen, a couple weeks. And that's the problem, Donald Trump, of legislating by executive order for 4 years and not codifying your policy proposals and your promises into law through legislation through Congress. So just a little civics lesson for any dictators who try to take over the American government in the future. This has been the AM Report for Haps News Network of Now. We are live every weekday morning with all of your quick political news and headlines to get your day started right. If you like this journalism, if you like this content, please consider sponsoring it. You can do that at haps.tv/@Alex, where you can become a recurring monthly subscriber, or you can buy me a cup of coffee, or you can just click the subscribe button and let us know. We'll let you know every morning. We'll get a notification when we're going live. We'll be back tomorrow. And thank you all for joining. Thank you for your comments. Good to see you all this morning, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.